Hey guys, so a lot has changed since the last time I made a video. I actually made a video or took videos of an entire 2 week trip while I was out west that I just never put together. I started looking over the footage and it was either too windy so you couldn't even hear me. Hopefully you can hear me with the wind, but right now we're at the Yellow Mountains Overlook. This is just another part of the Badlands, or it just felt very overwhelming. So I decided that I was going to make a sit and chat video and just give you kind of a life update because the last video I made was about 2 years ago and things are very different now. So I thought it would be a good idea for me to just get on here, give you a little update, and then hopefully this will turn into me posting a little bit more frequently. So the last video I did was me on spring break. And since then, I've graduated college. I got my degree in public health. When I came back from school, I started working as a personal trainer at an F45. I since became the head coach and am now the manager, so I'm running that studio. And I did a whole swim lesson summer when I came back from school. I did another summer following that. I joined a fire department and became an EMT, so that was pretty cool. But I actually just recently resigned from that fire department. I learned a lot of really, really cool stuff, met a lot of really, really cool people, still have connections with those people, friendships, and all that kind of stuff. And I totally would have loved to stay. But my other big life update is that I got into nursing school. So I decided after I became an EMT that I really loved that field and just working with people in that way. And I kind of had an idea when I was thinking the physical therapy thing, but the more I looked into the physical therapy thing, the more I shadowed physical therapists. I was like, nope, not for me. So I decided that nursing was what I wanted to do. And so over the last, I would say 2 years or so, I was taking prerequisites to be able to apply. So I've gotten myself into an accelerated nursing program, which is going to be 1 year, which I just found out officially starts on June 1st. So that's a very exciting news. So I have a little bit over 2 months till that starts, and I'm back into a very structured, rigorous routine, which is awesome. I'm definitely looking forward to that, but it definitely is going to be a rude awakening. My clinicals are going to start 2 weeks after I start the program. I haven't had my orientation yet, so I really don't know anything. I just know that it starts on June 1st. I also have no idea what kind of nurse I want to be. I definitely could see myself doing something, but I'm keeping an open mind just so that I'm not like forcing myself into one box. I want to be able to experience my clinicals and all that and just have an open mind and see what I do like versus what I think I'm gonna like. I think that I could do very well in a pediatric unit or a NICU. I definitely don't see myself working in labor and delivery or geriatrics. So we'll see what holds true. I don't know. I'm going to be able to experience everything. So once I'm in it, I think I'll really be able to decide and see for myself. But that's what I'm thinking now. I think pediatrics, maybe pediatric oncology. I don't know. We'll see. But that's the great thing about nursing is you don't necessarily have to decide right away. You can try a bunch of different things. You can always go back to school. You can always change your specialty. Again, like just figure it out as you go, which is really, really cool. So I think that's part of the reason why I chose nursing because I know that I'll be able to change when necessary and everything's always different. Everything's always changing. You can always learn something new. And I don't do very well with doing the same thing every single day. So I think it's going to be really great for me and a good career choice. So I'm excited for that to start. So as far as the career stuff goes, that's kind of where I'm at. More personal life stuff, I have been very consistent in the gym. I went from a 6 day split to a 5 day split. And then I would say after the summer, I went to a 4 day split. And let me tell you, when I switched to that 4-day split, I have never ever felt better. I was so much better recovered. And I'm not saying that that is what everybody has to do. Your body is different than mine. What's going to work for you might not work for me. What works for me isn't going to work for you. But the recovery and just everything, lifting 4 days a week has been incredible. And I tried to go to 5 days a week and it just wasn't working. So I went back to the 4 days and I am so okay with that. I do a chest day, glutes and hamstrings, quads, and back and biceps. And that is all I need. And I love it. And I just stick to like a similar routine every time I go to the gym. I walk. I did recently start running again, which has been pretty cool. I am pretty proud of that because I kind of started from zero again and it's been like a pretty smooth transition. I will say my right knee sometimes likes to make me know that it's there, but for the most part we've been pretty good. I have been enjoying the runs. I just go someplace close, very flat, no hills or anything like that, but it works for me, so I'm cool with it. Like I said, I've been walking a lot. I have been trying to meet that step goal just as something to get done in the day and check off. But the fitness side of things has been really great. I feel like I've gotten a better handle on my nutrition too. I definitely will say there's better days, weeks than others, but for the most part, I kind of have it down pat on knowing whether or not I'm hitting my protein and all of that kind of stuff. And what has really helped with that is the fact that I eat the same breakfast every single day. The same thing every day. The only time I don't eat the same thing is if it's like if I go to brunch or I'm with friends or I'm not home. But chances are I probably took the yogurt with me. So that has been super helpful just because right at the beginning of my day, I know exactly what I'm eating. It's already prepped from the night before. And it's just, the macros are awesome. I get a lot of protein in. And it's just a good start to the day. And then it just kind of rolls into the rest of my meals because I've already made a good choice in the morning. So the choices just flow through the day. Another more personal update is I'm not sure if she's in any of my videos, but my best friend Olivia is very much into faith and goes to church every weekend and everything like that. And I've always been interested in it, but I've never felt the courage, I guess, to kind of jump into it. And so she's always been somebody in my life that kind of, I see it and I'm around it, but I've never taken the leap to actually do it for myself kind of thing. So it's always been in my head. Now, recently, I was introduced to a young adult group at a church, and I've gone to a couple dinners that they've had, and immediately right off the bat, I made very, very good connections with people at these dinners, and just immediately clicked and went to brunch with them and everything like that, and they've become like pretty much staples in my life at this point, and it's only been about a month and a half, but have been consistently going to the dinners, have seen them outside of the dinners now, and I've also started going to church with my friend Olivia. So it's two different churches at the moment, and I've kind of been feeling where I fit in best or feel the best myself, more comfortable and everything like that. And it's just been really great. I don't know what your faith is or if you even have a faith, but I am leaning more into that recently, and it's been very helpful. It's been very healing. I will say I've never felt lighter in my life, and I mean that not in a physical sense, but just more so like in a spiritual sense or a soul sense, I guess. Mental sense, maybe. I don't know. But it's just been very, very nice like learning about it and experiencing it for myself and really just full force going right into it. I feel like I was almost thrown into it to start off, and now it's by choice, which is really cool. I have definitely gained, I guess, a little bit more peace in certain respects. I feel like my need for control is definitely something that has caused me a lot of stress in the past. And this has kind of helped me release some of that control and also just like worry. And I just feel like it's a very hard thing to describe. And it's much easier once you can experience it for yourself. But because it's now part of my life, I do want to try and express how it's affected me and how it's changed my life, I guess, because then maybe it'll change yours. And maybe you'll get something from it, whether that means you dive into your faith or you just, something I say hits you in the right spot. So, I'm gonna try and do that. I feel like because it's so new to me, I do have a very hard time articulating what I want to say about it. So I think that that will come in time. But what I will say is that for me, because I had no idea what I was doing, I didn't even know where to start, what to do, all that kind of stuff. I did find this devotional book, and it's Jesus Listens by Sarah Young. I found it at TJ Maxx, okay? I was looking in the book notepad section and I saw it and I was like, wow, that looks really great. And so it's a daily devotional prayers of peace, joy, and hope. And it's the note taking edition. So it's basically a 365-day journal. So you can write in it, and it has a prayer a day, and it gives you Bible verses and everything like that to go along with the prayers. And you can kind of just write down your thoughts. I've kind of been using it as like I'll read the prayer myself, and then the notes I write are either a prayer for me or just kind of like what thoughts come to mind after reading it. But it's honestly helped me understand a little bit more like what it's all actually about, if that makes sense. And I feel like because it's such a personal thing, I don't feel like I'm doing it and somebody's preaching to me and they're saying all these things or whatever. I feel like it's like in my own time, on my own pace, and that makes it so much more personal, which is really cool. And I've had this little pocket Bible for quite some time now. It has moved drawers many times, but now it does live on my nightstand. And I started with the book of James. That was a really good one to start with. I've moved on into Proverbs and have been reading through that as well, and I'll take some notes on that. I definitely want to get like a full-size Bible. That way I can highlight and make notes and everything like that. But for now, this is what we've got. And yeah, it's definitely weird because I never thought that I would, I don't know, be in this position or be where I'm at right now. But I will say I'm very happy I am. I definitely think that it came at a time when I needed it, and I'm growing and I'm still learning so many things. And it's honestly been a really nice thing to be able to devote myself to and take time out of my day to learn about, because I just feel like lately I felt very stuck where my job is great, I have wonderful friends, everything's great really, but I've just felt stuck in the sense of I don't feel like anything I was doing was really like moving me forward, or I wasn't really growing in any way. I was just kind of staying in the same place, especially with school not starting for 2 months. I felt like I was kind of just every day was the same. Nothing new was happening. I wasn't growing, I wasn't learning anything. And now I feel like I have this thing where I will forever be learning. I will forever be growing. It's not something that like one day you're an expert and you're the best ever, and like it just doesn't work like that. So I definitely think this is a very positive thing in my life, and maybe it will be for you too. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that this video is already longer than it needs to be, but if you have made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you staying with me and listening to me talk, and thanks for leaning into life with me. I do hope that this, again, like kickstarts me into posting more often and doing more things. I'm sure there's plenty of updates that I completely, totally forgot about that I can put into another video, or just start showing my life a little bit more, because I do enjoy doing this. I feel like I've gotten a lot better at talking to the cameras. In my last video, I said probably 600,000 times, but I think I did pretty good in this video. So when I watch it back, we'll see how it actually went. But thanks again for watching. I'm so glad that you're here, and I'll see you in the next video.